Hello. I'm doing stuff with Geometry Dash now, and I figured I would start with some little tutorials on how to make specific things in the editor. So these are things using triggers and other stuff. These are not tutorials about how to actually use the triggers. These are instead cool things you can make with triggers in case you want to make them. So what I'll be doing for this first episode is showing you how to make something that you need to click or tap a certain amount of times in order to get past it. As in, like, having a wall that obviously it'll kill you if you touch it, and that you can only get rid of it by clicking a certain number of times. So I'm just going to show you how to do that. So first, if you're having it in a specific part of the level, I'd recommend putting in a spider portal to go into the spider game mode. Since I'm just in a test level here, I'm just gonna start it with that, and really whatever speed you want. But then when you do that, you want to think about how many times you want to have to click it. So I'm kind of thinking about 20. So then you want to play test it from there and see how much you can play test from there. Let me quickly turn off that. Okay. So once you've decided your amount, which I've decided 20, you can go ahead and do that and see and do it like quickly and see how long it takes. So I did it quickly and it was about this length. So I'm gonna make it just like slightly longer, like right here maybe. I'll put all the blocks to make the wall. Okay. And then we're gonna do the first part, which is gonna be having a counter that shows how many clicks you have. So you're gonna put down a counter, it's the little 0 thing, and just put it to your next free item ID. Mine is 1 because I don't have anything else over here. And then, so you have that to whatever item ID it is. So now we're gonna do the first part, which is actually like having it count up when you click. So we're gonna put down a touch right there, a touch trigger, and you're going to hold on. Actually, before you do that, you need to put down a pickup trigger, and you're gonna set the first the item ID to the same item ID that you put on the counter, and then put the count to 1. And put this and click spawn triggered and multi-triggered. This way this only activates if it's activated by something else. And just kind of put it up there and give it a group. For me that's group 1. Then you're going to take a touch trigger, put it so wherever this is, it means once you pass by this is when it'll start counting up when you pass by it. So if you have not passed by it yet, it will not count up. So I'd recommend just putting it where the portal is or whatever, to like the start of the point that you want that to happen. I'm just putting it at the very beginning because I don't have anything else here, because I'm just showing the stuff. So what you're going to do with it is so whatever group you put onto your pickup, mine was 1, you're going to put that on the group ID for the toggle on the touch trigger. and have it as toggle on. So that when you, or wait, did I do that right? I think so. So that right here, when you pass by this, then it toggles group 1 or whatever your group is, which is this pickup thing, which is going to pick up 1 on the item ID, I think. Okay, so it doesn't look like it's doing anything here, but if you actually go ahead and play it, you can see that it does it, and it goes up whenever I click. So now we're gonna have this following the player until it reaches the wall. So just put this in a group. For me, that's group 2. If you want to have any text on it that says, like, however many times you want, like, it needs to click, you can do that as well. So I'm going to write, you need to click 20. I must click 20. And do it like that, and put it in the same group. And then figure out, or actually you don't have to figure out, once right in the middle of it, so like right there, or on that block, that middle block right there, that is where you're gonna put, or like above it or wherever, that's where you're gonna put your move trigger right up there, or wherever, and select its target group to the group that you have the counter and the text at, if you have any text. And then move time would be how long it takes from here to the wall. You can calculate that if you want, but it's a lot easier to just set it on 9,999 and then put a stop trigger over by the wall, so when you pass under that, it'll stop the moving. So you can do that, and you're just gonna set it to lock to player X, so when you pass underneath it, it'll keep following you with the counter, and then you can find whatever moment it like gets right before the end of it hits the wall, so I think like right there, and then just put another stop, or put a stop there, and then give your next group to that move trigger you put down, and then set that as the target for the stop. So now this will follow you, and it'll stop right there. If I zoom in a little bit, there you go. So it's going to keep following. You can see the counter, and it stops right there. See, it's not super hard to get 20 clicks right there. And of course it can go over, because it's going to just keep counting up every time you click. So that's the first half of it done, the actual counter. And then the second part is the function that actually like gets rid of the obstacle when the counter reaches the amount that you want it to. So like I would have this at 19, and then when I click again for 20, this wall would disappear. So to do that, you need a toggle trigger. Well, I guess it's whatever you want your output to be from successfully getting this amount. So I'm gonna open this wall when we get that amount. So whatever that is, go ahead and set up that output. So I'm just having it toggle this wall. So I'm just gonna take all the blocks in this wall and add them to a new group, and then use that as the target for the toggle. And make sure that whatever your output trigger is, make sure that it has spawn triggered enabled. This way it will only activate when activated by something else. You can just leave it there and give it a new group as well. So I'll give it 5, or actually not yet. I'll do that later. So once you have your output set up, now we need two quick things to link it from the counter to the output. I think they both, if I'm correct, I think you do both of them with the same one trigger, which is the count. So if you take the count trigger and also put it right at the start of this area, you set the item ID to whatever you have the item ID on the counter and the pickup. The target count to however many clicks you wanted. So I'm putting it as 20, and then the target ID is you're gonna give an ID, or the next group ID, give on your output. So that's 5 for me, and then enter that number into the target thing. So that's that first thing. Is that which is actually going to detect when this is 20 or whatever your number is, and then for the signal, and then the other part is just simply clicking activate group and turning on this checkbox. And that's going to be what actually, so the first part was sending a signal to it, and then this checkbox actually turns it on. Without that checkbox, it wouldn't be it would activate this, but it wouldn't do anything. It would remove it in the editor, but if you have this checkbox on, instead of removing it, it uses it. So now it should look like that. So this is how it should be all set now. So you can see that I have this thing here. It's going to kill me unless I have 20. So see, that's doing nothing. And if I set this up to 19 and then click for the 20, it disappears. And if I go over 20, you see it disappears. As soon as I get 20, I can go over it or whatever. You can see that's how you can do that. And that's pretty much all there is for that. It's pretty simple. Just having your counter and text, having it follow the player, having a touch trigger and picking up when you touch. So it picks up an item, and then the thing that detects the item amount, and then the actual output. It's pretty simple. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually go into the level now. You see it works the same way. There's the wall. It kills me. 19 still kills me. And if I get to 20, the wall is gone. So there you go. That's how you can do that. And yeah, I will see you again for the next episode of GD Editor Tips.